News Radio KMAN weather.
83 and mostly cloudy currently in Manhattan with those winds around 22 miles an hour to the southwest and gusting as high as 35. Also a tornado watch in effect until 9 p.m. Tonight, a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly before 9 p.m. Otherwise partly cloudy with a low of around 46. Sunny with a high near 71 on Friday. That night, clear skies and a low of around 47. The game up next on News Radio KMAN.
KMAN Daily Weather is presented by Fox Business Systems. How much does downtime cost you and your business? Don't let another second go by. Call Fox Business Systems at 776-1452.
The following is an exclusive presentation of News Radio KMAN, your home for K-State athletics. It's game time. This is The Game on News Radio KMAN.
The Las Vegas Raiders are officially on the clock. And so is Gavin Hyatt.
Yeah.
Mustache Gavin.
And some are maybe a little bit more anticipating Gavin's pick because we all know who the Raiders are taking.
Yeah, we all expect the Raiders to take Fernando Mendoza, but rumors have been flying around all day about who Gavin will be selecting first overall in our second hour at 5:10, the Classic Rock Draft. This is bands and artists.
I'm ready.
Under the Classic Rock umbrella. He says he's ready, but you never know if a team might come in late, try to make a trade.
Rumors have been swirling.
If he decides to sign somebody else in the meantime before this first overall pick, trade back, whatever it could be. We got a snake-style draft, 4 rounds coming up in our second hour, as long as hopefully severe weather stays out of our way. But right now, it appears that is not going to be. I'll give you the details here on that weather here in just a moment. But snake-style draft starting with Gavin. Tim Fitzgerald from Go PowerCats scheduled to join us. I'll be the third pick. Tim Everson from the Mercury will have the 4th pick. Cole will have the 5th, and then we'll reverse, and we'll go for 4 rounds. Everybody gets 4 picks. So I'll be picking third, like I mentioned. Cole, who picked first last year, is on the back end now.
And I enjoy not having to really think about it a ton because most likely it'll be like the big 4 that are taken before me, and then I have a lot of room to work with at number 5 and number 6.
Well, a quick warning for everybody here. We are being impacted by severe weather as we speak for the edge of our listening area. This could heavily impact our show today. So I want to give everybody a heads up on that. But right now we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern Dickinson County in effect until 4:30. As it was at 4:03, a severe thunderstorm was located 4 miles northwest of Carlton, and it's moving to the northeast, so it's heading directly towards the Manhattan area at 30 miles per hour, 60 mile per hour wind gust, quarter-size hail is what triggers this severe thunderstorm warning. Locations impacted also include Abilene. Abilene is in the path of this storm, and we still have a tornado watch in effect until 9 o'clock tonight. So, and I'm taking a look at the radar, yes. As a matter of fact, the storm, if it continues on the same path, which looks like it's going a little bit more north, it's northeast. We'll see how this continues to develop. It may sneak by Junction City and Ogden, stay to the northwest, but right now it's a little too early to tell. But right now, Abilene, this short line of storms right now, Abilene is on the top part of that and is being impacted as we speak. Now, hour 1, I do want to get to Avery Johnson a little bit later on. Collin Klein will lead us off here in just a moment. Plus, the history of the Cats and the NFL draft, plus the Wildcats projected to be drafted this year. There are a couple of them to continue K-State's NFL draft tradition. And, of course, the Classic Rock Draft in our second hour. Plus, Cole will be predicting the Chiefs and what they will do officially in today's first round, which the Chiefs have the 9th pick and the 29th pick. Coverage of the NFL Draft starts at 6 o'clock here on News Radio KMAN. Okay. Yesterday, we got to hear from 4 coaches yesterday. Now, we're only going to focus on one here today. And to be fair, a lot of what was said by Coach Klein was repeated in some way, by the coordinators that came in and chatted with us after speaking with Collin Klein. But for Coach Klein, this is his second press conference and his final of the spring. And the thing that immediately jumped out to me from what Collin Klein said was talking about injuries. Now, we know that, for example, the offensive line has a number of guys out from an injury or from surgery, and they're able to take, most of the spring off, maybe do some light work. Tanner Morley is an example of somebody coming back from injury, and he's been doing some things. He hasn't been, from what I can tell, a full go. But Coach Klein said that there were no serious injuries from spring ball.
We got 2 days left, so we got to finish strong that way. But nothing that should affect a couple dings here and there, but nothing that should affect the fall, which is a really, really good thing. And the focus of development through the summer will continue with a great foundation that we've laid this spring.
Obviously significant news, but a big reason for me is because it goes back to what we learned about this team, how they approached spring ball, how that staff was approaching spring ball with how most practices are going to suit up. They're going to be in certain portions of practice. They're going to be full go. They're going to tackle. They're going to go 100%. They're going live. Speaking, earlier today we talked to a handful of Wildcats, but specifically with Travis Bates earlier today, I asked him about the question, like, how much are you guys actually hitting? How much are you going live? Is like, actually, we're going quite a bit. Like, we're being challenged all the time about live scenarios, live situations, and making plays in those areas. And with that being said, he remembers that, under Kleiman, and this is no shot at Kleiman at all. We had heard too many stories from the Kleiman the last couple of years, 3 or 4 years, that they just had too many injuries to really go as hard as they want to, that even last year he can't remember one time them going live. So a lot more is happening there. Now, who I actually hope it benefits the most is Avery Johnson, but really everywhere you can look, this could benefit anybody. Joe Jackson has been called out a whole bunch, and this is a kid that nearly missed out on 1,000 yards last year and had to be the guy from snap one because of the injury to Dylan Edwards.
Joe Jackson is a great leader, and he has a ton of energy, extremely positive, backs it up with his work ethic. And I think when you have someone that's been in the room like that before, when you add good pieces and good people to that, it syncs up really, really quickly. And I think that's what's happened in that room.
That surprises me, actually. I don't know if you remember, Cole, from last year where we talked to Joe. He just seemed quiet, so kind of in a shell, didn't say a whole lot. And maybe that had something to do with maybe he didn't have his full confidence yet. And maybe that Utah game, maybe people forget the Colorado game. That was another really great game for Joe Jackson, that maybe he's feeling himself a little bit more and ready to take on much more as a Wildcat.
Well, Joe even talked about that when we got to talk to him, whether it was last week or a couple of weeks ago. I can't quite remember. But when we talked to him, he talked about having to grow into that leadership role and being pushed on by coaches and really teammates alike, and kind of realizing that was an area where he needed to step up and grow, even if it wasn't the most comfortable for him to do. He talked about being an introvert, but him taking that role and being pretty outspoken about it from Coach Klein. I think it's an extremely positive thing to hear that about the guy who you expect to be most likely the day one starter. I mean, it's not to say it's not going to be a competition in that running back room, and that was something they threw out there a lot, is there's a lot of competition in the running back room. But I think it's nice to have a guy who's been in the system, been with the program, and has some of that experience, and to see him be willing to take that leap as a leader, I think that's extremely positive.
Now, the way the running back room is being painted, this is going to be a three-headed monster. It starts with Joe Jackson. Rodney Fields transfers in from Oklahoma State, and then you have Jay Harris, who is an Adonis, transfers in from Oregon. Here's Coach Klein.
Jay Harris has been outstanding. I mean, we have to try to slow him down in every walkthrough, because that guy just goes hard every single snap. And so he's been tremendous and adds some, a great skill set. Have not seen as much of Rodney coming off the injury from last season. He'll be fine, but when he has had a chance, he's flashed and has really, really quick feet.
a room of mostly bigger backs, I say we, not necessarily we, but I've seen the, kind of worried about the way the men's basketball team is starting to add up with, maybe quite a bit of guys that didn't have the most points per game or didn't play the most minutes, but did contribute in some way. As we go through this K-State lineup and as we will through the rest of this week if we have time, or this summer, is we're going to have a lot of time to talk about this team that, there's going to be a lot of those kind of players that are going to play for K-State this year, where maybe some limited action from their previous spots or different stories to some returning veterans that are going to be looked at as the leaders of these rooms. And I think you can look at this running back room as kind of the same, a lot of different stories, a lot of different, when it comes to experience, success. Like Jay Harris didn't touch the ball a whole lot at Oregon, but his previous stop when he played was a JUCO ball or maybe Division II, whatever it was a star. I mean, he was a All-American. He was phenomenal. And Rodney Fields does right away play at Oklahoma State and behind not a great offensive line there for Oklahoma State. He runs for 5 yards per carry and over 700 yards. So I think there's plenty there. I think we're looking at Joe Jackson. It probably still feels like he has something to prove to be a pretty reliable room this upcoming season. I don't really have a whole lot of concerns. I think these guys are going to be able to take care of themselves. And if the O-line, I think you got multiple guys with a lot more experience than last year's room that can help out the O-line if they're not having the best day, help them look good.
It feels like a running back room that has a pretty high floor, and the ceiling maybe TBD, to be determined. But I think in terms of the overall effectiveness from snap to snap, you can kind of depend on them to churn out 4 or 5 yards a pop, and it's a floor that seems to be pretty high as looking at it from the outside view.
I don't really have a whole lot to say about the wide receivers. Look, it's a room I'm really high on, and Collin again said, the competition at wide receiver, it really did stand out. Joshua Manning has been showing his flashes, and he could be a really talented player. But again, that's somebody who for 3 years had limited opportunities at Missouri. This is for him now to jump out in his senior year with a quarterback that he knows quite well in Avery Johnson. Everybody's pretty excited about Lincoln Cure heading into this second year with the Wildcats. Here's Collin Klein.
He's already an elite level athlete, but watching him and how he's grown into his body and how his body is grown into, handling the load on a day in and day out basis is that's a real thing, and he's taking that head on. But impressed too with his blocking ability. Everyone knows he's got incredible ball skills, but his ability to strike and stay on contact has impressed me for sure.
I think it should be a high expectation season for Lincoln Cure to get into the end zone, get the ball more into his hands, let the athlete be the athlete, go be a star. And, who knows how that'll turn out when it comes to the pecking order of the tight end room. But what we know is our 3 tight ends are going to play a lot of football. You're going to see them on the field a lot. There's only 3 tight ends on this team, which is kind of crazy to say. But I think we all expect in some sort of way for Lincoln Cure's talents to kind of emerge as the best of the room potentially.
Well, it's 2 dudes that we feel very confident in their abilities. Garrett Oakley, obviously as a returner, that's about as good and as cool-headed as a vet as you can have returning for that room. Will Ancio has really shown some flashes over the past couple of seasons. And then Lincoln Cure, you talk about a guy with upside. I mean, he's a freak athlete. You don't need to hear me say it again for the 1,000th time. He's a tremendous athlete, and they've talked about how well he's molded into his body as he continues to get older, and also just the mental side of it. After a year of college football under the belt, now the second spring, I'm really excited for this tight end room. I think there's a lot of reason to be excited for a room that returns 3 really key guys, and one guy specifically who was one of the best recruitment wins in Kansas State football history, and we think that the ceiling is extremely high for Lincoln Cure.
Couple of the takeaways from that side of the football is the quarterback battle for second string is still going. Don't know who that's going to be. Klein said that it's a different winner every day. You'll change your mind all the time about who it should be. That's going to go into the fall. Jacob Knuth, who's now entering actually his 4th season with K-State. It's crazy he's been here that long. He hasn't played much. He's appeared in I think 4 games, 3 of them in garbage time. The other one would have been Texas Tech, but that's as quarterback. He will be helping out K-State, though. He's going to be on special teams. Looking at Knuth, there are guys that they look like they'll kill you if they get their hands on you. Jacob Knuth, I wouldn't necessarily put him in that category, but he does I bet he hits like a son of a gun. He will just be one of those. There are freak athletes that have strength, speed, and there are just some guys that have that freak ability to hit really hard. It's like you don't have to be the strongest guy in the room. You don't have the biggest biceps to be the best puncher or have those knockout punch, the heavy hands. I think Jacob Knuth, I bet he falls into that category of he has sneaky strength and sneaky ability to fly down the field and hit somebody.
Well, I think he was the one who broke the squat record for quarterbacks, right? I believe that was one of the ones he mentioned. I think so. I think I'm remembering that correct.
I mean, the old record that was held by Collin Klein,
yes.
Believe it or not,
yes.
Once upon a time, and then it was Alex Delton that broke the record, and then I think Wyatt Thompson pointed this out. If anybody can break an Alex Delton record, which he was really good in the weight room, you're a bit on the freak side.
Yeah.
When it comes to lifting weights. On the defensive side, I'll point this out. Like, this was a boring press conference. It really was. And I think we knew Collin Klein wasn't going to be the most, telling, the most energetic press conferences. Like I've said, if the closest thing we would ever have to Bill Snyder in a coach role, a press conference role, would be Collin Klein. It's been that way since he is a player. But I've also always said if it's a boring press conference, it's a good press conference. It's a lot of positive. The more boring questions you get, the better the season is going. If you're getting hard-hitting questions, concerning questions, criticizing questions, that obviously means things aren't going well. But the press conferences are probably more entertaining because they're more dramatic questions. So, look, we're just trying to get some bits and pieces about what this team is going to be about. And I would say Collin did give us a few crumbs, but I did like hearing about the linebacker competition.
The linebackers and how hard they've played collectively as a unit has been really impressive. I think we got a lot of competition there. Rex Van Wy and Gabe Powers and, Darian Whitaker and Mackay, like all those guys are going at it every day. They're flying around every day.
Linebacker is exciting because of the additions, but also who's coming back. I think you have different kind of playing personalities. Mackay Mason is probably the IQ. He's the quarterback. He'll be the leader. It sounds like he's having a phenomenal spring. He had a great spring. He's a guy that can play multiple positions. He can get after a quarterback just as well as he can get into the stay back, play zone, and defend on a pass. Like, he can do a whole lot for you. And then you have somebody that we just really haven't seen a whole lot, maybe mostly on special teams, but might be the best athlete, might have the highest ceiling of being a star player and potentially make it to the next level in a Darian Whitaker. And I hope that Darian has done quite a bit this year in this spring ball that turns into, how do you not play him in game 1 against Nichols on September 5th?
This goes back to the original conversation about getting those live reps. When you have competition as stiff as it appears to be at the linebacking position, and you have a lot of guys who are able to head in there and get reps, and the live reps, they're just different. It's different than a mental rep that you're taking on the field. So to be able to get that kind of experience, to be able to see those guys doing their thing, to get a feel for what each guy does best, this linebacking group, I think there probably are some question marks, but I think there are a lot of fun question marks, to be honest, because we don't know necessarily what it's going to look like in the K-State uniforms, but you have some high hopes, especially from Mackay Mason, and the way that Collin talked about him. You got to be excited for him.
There was a lot more we could have played, but again, it was pretty generic answers. Safety, which, a lot of safety battles continuing on. It's been another fun one for Collin. Defensive line. Collin felt very good about the depth at defensive end, which is great to hear. Defensive tackle, still a work in progress as expected. Not a whole lot to share from the defensive side of the ball that you would find incredibly interesting. But let's take a break, and when we come back, I want to play a portion of the interview earlier today with Avery Johnson. Look, I think the theme for Avery heading into the senior year, which is an appreciation for his loyalty, but what has he done for you? And I think Avery has fully acknowledged that part of his arc in his story. And we're going to hear from Avery and respond when we come back as you're listening to The Game.
You're locked into The Game on News Radio KMAN.
Whether it's game day or a night out with great live music, Bottle Cap Sports Bar delivers the atmosphere you're looking for. It's Manhattan's go-to spot for catching every Wildcats or Chiefs game and enjoying live music that plays the songs you actually know. Come early for a good seat, great music, and cold drinks served up right. Stay in the loop. Check out their Facebook page for the full schedule of events. Bottle Caps, where the music's live, the game's always on, and the vibe is just right.
Bottle Cap Sports Bar located on West Anderson across from Dairy Queen.
In Manhattan, building community means more than bricks and beams. It means innovation and partnership. At McCown Gordon Construction, we deliver feature-focused solutions to projects that shape our region. From advanced research labs to vibrant education, healthcare, and community hubs. We're not just building projects, we're building the future of the Flint Hills with unmatched customer experience and value-driven strategies. We're building for tomorrow. Visit kansas.mccown-gordon.com.
Presented by Chick-fil-A and Community First National Bank. America 250. Happy birthday, America, where freedom is written, protected, and lived every day.
The strength of a justice system is measured by how it protects the rights of every individual, even the accused. The Bill of Rights guarantees critical protections: the right to remain silent, the right to attorney, protection from unreasonable searches and seizures, the right to a fair and speedy trial, protection against cruel and unusual punishment. These rights ensure fairness, dignity, and accountability within the legal system. They remind us that justices must be guided by law, not by emotion, and that liberty must be a safeguard for all citizens. For generations, these protections have upheld the principles of fairness and due process in American life. America 250, defending the rights that protected us all.
Brought to you by Chick-fil-A, Community First National Bank, Faith Furniture, Rothwell Landscape, Visit Manhattan, the Museum of Art and Light, and Manhattan Broadcasting.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. And you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling boss work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
If you've missed the Kim Komando Show, you've missed a lot.
But you're getting scammed. Scammers will take money from anyone. Doesn't matter how young, how old you are, how rich, how poor.
Short, tall, fat, skinny.
As soon as she went to WhatsApp, we both looked at each other and going, yeah, ugh.
Has anyone asked you to go to Telegram or WhatsApp? That tells you it's a scam.
America's digital goddess.
Kim Komando. Kim Komando. Saturday mornings at 9 on News Radio, KMAN.
I'm Gavin Hyatt with the Game Sports Update brought to you by Bottle Cap Sports Bar. Day 1 of the 2026 NFL Draft kicks off tonight with the Raiders on the clock at 7. Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza looks to be the presumed number 1 pick, but will not be in attendance in Pittsburgh, but instead will stay at home and celebrate with his family. The Kansas City Chiefs have the number 9 and number 29 pick in round 1, and is the first time they've had a top 10 draft pick since 2017 when they traded up to select quarterback Patrick Mahomes. According to multiple mock drafts, it looks like the Chiefs are looking for an edge rusher or wide receiver with their 9th overall pick and a cornerback for their 29th pick. Mel Kiper of ESPN has the Chiefs taking Arizona State wide receiver Jordan Tyson with their first pick, while Matt Miller of ESPN has Miami edge rusher Ruben Bain Jr. getting taken with the 9th pick. K-State football is expected to have 2 players selected, center Sam Hecht, who is considered one of the top center prospects in the draft, and safety VJ Payne. Mock drafts have Hecht going as high as a 2nd round, with Payne possibly going in the 3rd. The Wildcats have had at least 1 player selected in the first 3 rounds each of the past 3 drafts. We'll have all the draft coverage starting at 6, right on News Radio, KMAN.
Gavin playing the NWO Wolfpack theme. K-State baseball used to, when the offense was coming to the plate for the first time, they used to play this song. That was a good time. We're back on the game. Mitch Fortner, Cole Dutchendorf, and Gavin Hyatt. We are hopefully severe weather doesn't impact us too much. We'll be able to have our classic rock draft at 5:10. Tim Fitzgerald from Go PowerCat scheduled to join us in studio along with Tim Everson, Cole, Gavin, and myself. 4 rounds, 4 picks each for us 5 gentlemen. Scheduled to start at 5:10, plus Cole predicting what the Chiefs will do in the first round of the draft in hour number 2 as well. Cole, I owe you an apology here because you asked this question. It was a great question, especially with the answer he gave. I mean, it was the most emphatic answer we got this entire press conference, and it was when he was asked, is there a true freshman that has impressed him through spring ball?
Oliver Miller. You know, his versatility. He's played inside, he's played right tackle, he's played left tackle. Thinking that he's, should still be in high school right now, and what he's been able to put on the field is incredibly exciting. He has incredibly high standards for himself, isn't happy with where he is now, even as a young player, and having that type of drive and motor is impressive.
Now, maybe Collin picked him out because they're both Colorado boys or from the same area. That could be it. But it also helps that Wyatt Thompson also mentioned Oliver Miller on Monday. And then there were some other people once Collin left the room that said, look, this Oliver Miller, I know it's his first year here. He's a true freshman, hasn't played a game yet. He looks like a future NFL draft pick. I was like, oh, whoa.
And this is a dude who's either 17 or 18 at the moment. That's crazy.
He's a kid.
Mm-hmm. Young buck.
And he's 6'6", 290 pounds from Cherry Creek. Oh, he went to Cherry Creek High School, Centennial, Colorado is where he is from. I mean, he came to us as the 41st best offensive tackle in the 2026 class. I believe he was 3 stars and 6th overall prospect out of the state of Colorado. Did K-State find themselves quite the gym? We'll find out as time will tell. Let's get to – oh, did we have something pop up?
Nope, still the same one in Dickinson.
So you may be able to hear in the background when our severe weather alert goes off, which is in the office right next to this studio. You'll hear it go off. It's loud. I have PTSD from it. It's like an alarm clock. It's like, just sounds you don't like hearing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so used to it. I feel like I'm hearing, like, it's like phantom sounds.
Yeah,
like, I think I'm hearing it, but it's not actually happening. I hate it when that happens. But right now, I want to get you a quick update on what is happening right now with severe weather in our listening area. Right now, it's really all in Dickinson County right now, but it's starting to this line of storms are starting to peek into the west border of Geary County. Right now to the west of Junction City, although Junction City getting some weather right now for sure. I'm sure they're getting some rain. But right now the severe portion of the storm, it stretches from Chapman down to Carlton, which I still believe that is in Dickinson County. I believe so. But now this line is starting to merge with another severe thunderstorm warning that is further south towards McPherson. So right now this stretch of storms right now stretching from Inman to Junction City. So it's a nice, pretty decent line. It's moving at about 30 miles per hour to the northeast. So the projected path is still towards Junction City, Ogden, Manhattan, Riley County. So, we'll see what happens with this storm. It could get stronger. We'll see. But right now it's a severe thunderstorm warning until 5 o'clock for central Dickinson County. All right, to Avery Johnson. We're going to talk about the old quarterback here for just a moment. First of all, he's back for a 4th year. Didn't announce anything until after Chris Kleiman decided to step away. Collin Klein is hired as the new head coach, but he's back for a fourth year, and he is reunited with the guy that recruited him, the guy that invited Avery over to his house to have steaks and talk football and talk Cats. They're back together. Here's Avery Johnson earlier today with the K-State media.
How special is this story? I mean, you and him being reunited after some time apart.
I mean, I think it's super special, and like I said, coming out of high school, he was the main reason, one of them why I chose to come and play here. So, it hurt whenever he left and went to Texas A&M, and I think it's just all in God's timing, and God's bringing us, back together, and our story's still unfinished.
What do you like most about the Collin Klein offense?
Really just the freedom and how much it's evolved since my freshman year and where it's at now, and just like the relationship that we have to be able to talk through things and what I like and what he likes for me, and just him being able to showcase my abilities in the best ways.
You probably saw some of that Texas A&M offense that he was operating out of. What are some aspects of that offense specifically that really make you smile?
I think just him allowing me to play with my instincts and not be robotic out there. If I see green grass, take green grass, call another play, and then just being able to dial some stuff up. He's great at scheming things, and really just an offensive mastermind. So being able to learn from him, and I think it's really been able to grow my game just this spring.
Collin said middle last week he felt like you kind of took it up to a next level. Did you kind of recognize that, and how has the spring been for you in general?
Yeah, I think last week it's just like the offense kind of takes a little bit longer to get on the same page, and really with how the transfer portal is, it's a bunch of new faces. Just the timing and everything takes a little bit longer offensively than it might defensively, but I think in the middle of last week we really clicked and started to flow. So it's been a lot of fun just kind of seeing all the pieces come together and seeing guys go out there and make plays.
What's been the highlight so far for you this spring?
Really just the how much energy our new staff has brought to practice. I think last year we got really flat at times and didn't celebrate even small victories like big catches and touchdowns and team periods and red zone periods and things like that. So I think our new staff really emphasizes the little things and the details, and we say it all the time, that everything matters. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So continuing to just have that mindset through everything.
It took you a second to officially announce your return. Just when did you know throughout that process that you were going to be back in purple?
I just had to talk with my family and pray about what was best for me, and I really just wanted to let everything play out with CK's hiring and talk to him about his visions for me and what he saw for me. And the biggest thing is it's like new staff coming in, people leaving, people staying, like it's a whole bunch of question marks. So trusting him and his plan. And my biggest thing is I just want to win football games, and that's what I told him. And he's like, hey, if you stay and we get to put some good tape out there in the fall, then you have nothing to worry about. So I'm super excited and super stoked for the plan he has for this team and what we're going to be able to do this fall.
Avery, how important was it for you to be a 4-year guy at Kansas State?
It was just super important to me because, with how college football is nowadays, people are quick to leave for whatever personal reasons, if it's money, if it's playing time, whatever it might be. Really just, a testament to, my brothers in here and really wanting to build something and be a part of something more than just, I really wanted to be able to leave a legacy here and do things and just show, the type of person I am and with how college football is going nowadays. So it meant a lot to me, and it's going to mean a lot. I'll be able to get my degree from K-State in the fall, graduate from here and be a 4-year guy here. So I just think with how the landscape of college football is nowadays, it says a lot.
You're being coached by one of the top quarterbacks in K-State history, one of the best, athletes in K-State history, but you're up there in many of the K-State top 10 all-time categories. How does it make you feel about, total offensive yards, passing yards, rushing yards, passing touchdowns? Which ones of those really catch your eye?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to be able to, etch my name into history and be a part of all that, but still in 3 years haven't really won anything other than a few bowl games. So I'm still hungry, still trying to stay, humble through everything and go out and win a Big 12 championship this year and push for the college football playoff and a national championship because while personal accolades are great and everything, I'm more focused on, winning games and getting my team ready and prepared to play when the fall rolls around.
What's it been like for you playing with Josh Manning after not getting to do it right out of high school?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, connecting with Josh, and it took us a little while to get on the same page when spring started, but we've stacked the back end of the spring. We've stacked some really good days and been able to connect on things, and the timing's really showing, and I think his confidence is really building. So super excited for being able to throw the ball to Josh this year. Just a big body, strong hands, and really good in contested catch scenarios. So I think it'll be really exciting to be able to finally hook up with him this fall.
What about the rest of those receivers? Just starting to, the coach was saying how that's one of the more competitive groups on the team.
Yeah, we got a bunch of guys. I mean, we had a couple of transfers with B. White and Zay, and I think they've really shown some really good things this spring. And then young guys with Adonis coming back and Larry and Max, and just a whole bunch of guys in that the younger space. I think we're doing some really good things, and we have our vets that have been around with Tibbs and Locke and guys like that. So I think our room is really deep, and probably one of the deepest rooms I've had since I've been here.
Coaches have also been talking about Lincoln. What have you seen from Lincoln this spring?
Yeah, Link's grown a lot, and I think he's really starting to gain a lot of confidence in himself, because everybody knows he has all the talent in the world. But he's really stacking some really good practices together and really growing his confidence, and it shows out there. So I think people will be excited for what they see from him when the fall rolls around.
Joe Jack and Jay Harris, how about them?
It's going to be a hard duo to stop in the backfield, and those guys are both hungry and run the ball hard, and the room's deeper than just those two. We got a bunch of backs that are going to come out and do some really good things for us in the fall. You can't forget about RJ and Money and Kari and guys like that, because we have a really deep room, and those guys love to be around each other, love ball, and run the ball and catch it really well. So I'm excited.
All right, that was Avery Johnson from earlier today, abbreviated version of his interview with the K-State media. We'll spend a whole summer talking about what the senior season of Avery Johnson could look like. The reuniting with Collin Klein to me is very significant. Now, Collin is not going to be his quarterback's coach, Christian Ellsworth, who I think is a very smart guy, an up and rising coach. Will continue to climb through the ranks. Comes with Collin Klein over from Texas A&M. But going back to the Collin Klein part of this, look, this is a pretty significant reunion to me. This is the guy that recruited Avery Johnson. They got to know each other. The reason Avery came to K-State, a big part of that was Collin Klein. And to be real with you, going from so many offensive coordinators, but I think more importantly, quarterbacks coaches, there was a downgrade when Collin Klein left. There was a big downgrade when Collin Klein left. I've never been disappointed with Avery Johnson, but when it comes to players, the quarterback takes so much of the heat when a team isn't winning. Now, with that being said, have I been disappointed that K-State hasn't won more games and they should have won more games? Absolutely. I mean, the season a couple of years ago after the win against Colorado and then the road trip to Houston, they lose that game, and after that loss, the season just wasn't what it should have been. Disappointing. 6-6 last year was disappointing. I don't necessarily put that, though, on Avery Johnson. Now, need to be more of a spark? Absolutely. But something that I did take away from that is he's playing more free. Zach Nemechek was bringing it up all the time on Power Cat Game Day that he felt that Matt Wells was trying to have Avery play a certain way that just wasn't Avery. It wasn't who he was. If it was a design of quarterback runs or just sitting in the pocket and throwing the football, he's a mobile quarterback. Let him be mobile. Let him do his thing. And maybe that's what you're going to see from Collin Klein's. I shouldn't say Collin Klein's identity for the offense, but there's going to be a lot of people that's going to have the identity of this offense. But Collin Klein is the head coach. He's an offensive guy. He was a Heisman Trophy runner-up. Allowing Avery to be more Avery Johnson, I think, is going to be key. But do I feel like the coaching is going to be a lot better? Absolutely. Now, what is holding Avery back, though, from maybe being more of a successful quarterback and maybe what could lead him to having a shot at going to the next level? I mean, there's people putting out lists of saying Avery Johnson is not a top 10 quarterback in the Big 12, which to me is crazy. But it boils down to, I think, a lot of fundamentals that haven't quite buffed itself out. If it's the short to intermediate accuracy, if it's just the flashes of the deep balls, accuracy has been a big complaint about Avery's game. It was brought up yesterday by a couple of the coaches that maybe a thing to grind out here is Avery knowing when there's something there and when knowing there's not something there. And the example is him tucking and running. To me, he's always been really good at that. He's been able to notice where that opens up and take off and hit those seams and go. It's the passing of the football when noticing that he thinks there's something there and it turns out there's not something there. And it's always in the short to mediate parts of the game and parts of his passing ability to recognize what's there and time it up right. Avery has shown so many of those flashes to be an elite quarterback. People look at the wins that's keeping him back from being an elite quarterback. When it comes to the K-State numbers, he's going to be one of the greatest ever. He will be up there. He may not be the absolute most talented player, but he's going to break a lot of records this year. It's going to happen. He's going to have a better team around him. I really do feel like he's going to have a better team around him, but having Collin Klein back, and I believe in Christian Ellsworth, I think he's going to be in better hands to have the best season, his senior season.
I think you said it perfectly. I couldn't agree more with anything you said. I think it's kind of the perfect storm that has happened over the past couple of years to hold him back a little bit. And I also think it's a little bit of a perfect storm to potentially be a really good season to end his career in purple.
Well, and going back to what I said in the last segment, them going live so often like they have in spring ball this year, I hope that is a head start for Avery to fine-tune those fundamental things that he has been struggling with the accuracy. And, I think he's always been really solid pre-snap, but maybe during the play hasn't seen some things unfold. He's missed some guys, wide open guys. He has missed he's missed quite a few open passes. And when I say missed him, he didn't throw the football. He just didn't see the receiver, that kind of stuff. That's happened a lot. So identifying things and short ball accuracy to me are, those are two things that can easily, scouts will lose interest if you don't get those things better his senior year. But I think he'll get there. All right, with that being said, we got to catch up on severe weather because it looks like now Geary County is now involved in a severe thunderstorm warning. I need to go back to the radar here. Do you have anything to say about this before I start pulling it up?
Yeah, working on pulling it up right now as I speak. I have it right here. This was for southwestern Geary County.
Okay.
For until 5:15, this is the continuing of the Dickinson and now Geary County involved 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail. This is Junction City and Enterprise are the locations impacted. This is Interstate 70 between mile markers 293 and 295.
I've noticed here with the radar here was pretty much straight southwest to northeast on this line, but the angle of these warnings have now gone from basically straight to the northeast more towards the east. So I don't know if the severe portion of this line is starting to shift more east. It's hard to tell because I'm not watching this entire time. But this line has stretched over to Ogden. Ogden is not in a severe portion of the storm yet. But it does appear that this line is still approaching more into the direct, center of our listening area, which of course here in Manhattan. And then, I think it is probably a matter of time before Junction City is in a warning, and that does stretch up towards us here in the Little Apple. We need to take our last break of the first hour. We still hopefully will have the Classic Rock Draft at 5:10 to celebrate the opening round of tonight's NFL Draft. Gavin Hyatt is on the clock. A lot of rumors flying around. Fleetwood Mac. We had a conversation a few weeks about Fleetwood Mac. Could they be the first overall pick by Gavin Hyatt? You'll have to tune in at 5:10 to find out. More of the game is up next.
Your home for K-State Sports.
Noel, hot pass, runs it down, puts it up late. Oh, are you kidding? Okay.
This is The Game on News Radio, KMAN.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. For most programs, 2 solid seasons would be enough to earn trust. For Alabama football, it earns more questions than answers. Kalen DeBoer has been good, not great in Tuscaloosa, but that won't cut it, not for a long period of time. But Alabama handed him a 7-year, $87 million extension yesterday that, on the surface, screams commitment. In reality, it says something else, because in modern college football, contracts rarely mean a long-term backing. They're placeholders, financial markers more than guarantees. With booster money flowing, expectations high, buyouts have become part of the business. Just look around. Jimbo Fisher walked away from A&M with $76 million. Brian Kelly paid $56 million to leave LSU. James Franklin, nearly $50 million to part ways with Penn State. So while DeBoer's deal looks like a vote of confidence, it's a reflection of the system. Big numbers, big expectations, and the flexibility if things go sideways. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal, book telehealth if she feel.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Right now, the Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
I don't think Joker wins another MVP. And it's not because he's not deserving. He's just not going to win it. And Wemby is on the way. We're lucky to be treated to young players. Now, Joker's not young, but he's still doing things that nobody's ever done. You know, we need a new story here.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan and the Danettes and you.
Dan Patrick, weekdays at 1 on News Radio, KMAN.
This is a severe weather update.
I'm Cole Betchendorf with a quick severe weather update for you. The National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for east central Dickinson County and southwestern Geary County until 5:15, as about 10 minutes ago a severe thunderstorm was located 5 miles southeast of Enterprise, moving northeast at around 30 miles an hour. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and half-dollar-size hail indicated on radar, with hail damage to vehicles to be expected. Also wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Some of the locations impacted include Junction City and Enterprise. And again, a tornado watch remains in effect until 9 Central for the Cayman listening area.
Powered by Tallgrass Windows. Life is good. You should enjoy the view.
We are just moments away from beginning the Classic Rock Draft. Snake-style draft, 5 of us with 4 picks each. Gavin Hyatt is on the clock with the first overall pick. It's our 6th annual The Game Draft, a different theme every year. We'll kick it off at 5:10. Meanwhile, for K-State football, who once upon a time had a run of like 20-something straight years of a draft pick, that unfortunately ended with the 2020 NFL draft. But the Cats have had a draft pick every year since now 2021. That was thanks to Wyatt Hubert, who I think was also a little bit surprised that he was such a late draft pick there in the 7th round. Russ Yeast, Skylar Thompson, Deuce Vaughn, Josh Hayes, Julius Prince, Felix Anudike Uzama, TK Leviston, Cooper Beebe, Ben Sinnott, Marquise Siegel, DJ Giddens, and Jacob Parrish have been the draft picks along with, those have been all the draft picks of the Chris Kleiman era, with most likely, as we expect, 2 more still to come. Now, Sam Hecht, who is going to be the next great, if people may not even know this, will be the next and maybe one of the last special walk-on stories here at K-State. He's a Kansas kid, Mill Valley, right? Center for the Wildcats. is a multi-time All-Big 12 performer. According to ESPN's big board, their best available is the second best center available in the draft. Now, centers don't typically draft too high in these days, but he is projected to go as high as his second-round pick. For most of the mock drafts I've seen, a lot of the media in Chicago feels like he is destined to be a Chicago Bear. And that would fall in the third round. The highest pick I've seen was early second for the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, I would not necessarily project him to be an early second. I said a couple of weeks ago, late second into the third round for VJ Payne. VJ Payne. By the way, one more thing for our Wildcats. Why am I all of a sudden blanking on the name here? Help me out.
Sam Heck.
Sam Heck. Why did all of a sudden just forgot his name? He's about to be a legend, for God's sakes. Sam Heck. I can't believe I blanked there. Anyway, in the last 2 years, did not allow a single sack. How about that? Not a single one. For VJ Payne, obviously a very talented kid. Both just proving themselves worthy during the combine. Right now, VJ Payne, it's pretty scattered. I don't think anybody has really a good feel of where VJ Payne is going to go. And, I mean, the NFL draft has to be one of the hardest things to predict after you get after the first, 10 picks or whatever it is. But K-State's about to add a couple of draft picks to its history. 165 draft picks all time for the Wildcats. Jacob Parrish was the last. The first was Paul Fanning, a tackle to the Philadelphia Eagles back in 1937. It won't happen tonight, but tomorrow it could happen for the Wildcats. We'll take a timeout. Classic Rock Draft is coming up next. You're listening to The Game on KMAN.
The Manhattan chapter of the Barbershop Harmony Society is presenting their spring show, Barbershop on Broadway, Saturday, May 2nd, featuring Little Apple Chorus and Heartland Harmony, with special guest Brouhaha. Doors open at 2:30, show starts at 3 p.m. at K-State Student Union. Purchase your tickets in advance from a chorus member for $15 or $50 per family, or at the box office the day of the show for just $20. You won't want to miss the Little Apple Barbershop Spring Show, Saturday, May 2nd at Forum Hall at the K-State Student Union.
At Stormont Vale Health, high-quality care is right around the corner.
Stormont Vale Health is more than just a hospital. We're an essential part of your community. Our commitment to quality healthcare means investing in the most skilled and talented providers and cutting-edge medical technology. Our investment in your well-being doesn't stop there. We also support various nonprofit programs throughout the communities we serve. Visit StormontVale.org and discover how we can serve you.
Stormont Vale Health, high-quality care, closer to home.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, helping you beat the books with Westwood One Sports. Coming up tonight in the pro basketball playoffs, Game 3 of the first-round series with New York and Atlanta. This game in Atlanta, and New York a 1.5-point road favorite. The total in the game, 216.5. Now, New York yacked away Game 2 at the very end. I don't expect that to happen tonight. I think New York's star point guard plays great. Give me New York to cover. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
From lending options to treasury management services, KS State Bank provides innovative solutions to help your business succeed. KS.
living places that have been destroyed. If this fire doesn't shift
portions of Georgia and Florida. President Trump has announced a development in the effort to end the war between Israel and Iran. The latest from CBS's Linda Kenyon.
In a hastily called gathering of the press to the Oval Office, the president made this announcement about Israel and Lebanon.
They've agreed to an additional 3 weeks of, no firing, ceasefire.
Trump said he expected the Israeli and Lebanese leaders to meet with him over the next couple of weeks in the Oval Office, saying he also has high hopes for a peace deal this year. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Louisiana officials confirmed that 2 groups of people opened fire at each other inside the food court at the Mall of Louisiana in Baton Rouge. 1 person is confirmed dead by police, with 5 others hospitalized. Baton Rouge Police Chief Thomas Morse.
We have 5 suspects in custody. This is still an ongoing investigation. We're still looking for more people that may be involved.
Baton Rouge authorities are receiving help from the FBI and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. A cannabis industry group is cheering President Trump's reclassification of state-licensed medical marijuana as a less dangerous drug. CBS's Allison Keyes reports.
The American Trade Association for Cannabis and Hemp says the president's action recognizes that cannabis is medicine. Loyola Law professor Lori Levinson says
the main impact right away will be on how it eases the tax burden on cannabis businesses.
The order signed by the acting U.S. Attorney General changes the way it is regulated and eases some barriers to research. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
Meta said it plans to cut 10% of its global workforce, or about 8,000 staff, as well as cancel some open jobs, as it continues to invest heavily in artificial intelligence. CBS News tech contributor Ian Scher.
It's unclear how much further these types of cuts will go. It's clear that automation and AI coding tools are pushing a lot of what's happening in the tech industry. And there are a lot of businesses globally who say they intend to cut staff because of automation.
This is CBS News.
Help keep our community safe and healthy during National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, April 25th. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com.
This is a severe weather update.
I'm Cole Betchendorf with that severe weather update. Moments ago, the National Weather Service issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Geary County, southeastern Riley County, and northwestern Wabaunsee County until 5:45. At 5:01, a severe thunderstorm was located 7 miles south of Junction City. Moving east, it's picked up a little bit of speed, now at 35 miles an hour. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail are radar indicated. Expect hail damage to vehicles and wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Some of the locations impacted include Junction City, Ogden, Grandview Plaza, and Voland. This includes Interstate 70 between mile markers 292 and 321. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Again, another reminder that a tornado watch also remains in effect until 9 o'clock tonight for the Cayman listening area. And just to recap, until 5:45, severe thunderstorm warning for Geary, Riley, and Wabaunsee County.
Powered by Candlewood Veterinary Clinic. Do severe storms stress out your cat or dog? If the answer is yes, relieve your pet's anxiety with help from Candlewood Veterinary Clinic. Caring for your pets like they're one of ours. Cayman Daily Weather is presented by Fox Business Systems. How much does downtime cost you and your business? Don't let another second go by. Call Fox Business Systems at 776-1452.
Is this a sign? Is this foreshadowing? Is this Gavin fueling the rumors of what is going to be his first overall pick as we're getting ready to lift off on this 2026 The Game Classic Rock Draft? As I've unofficially, like it's kind of the unwritten rule of Classic Rock, starts with the Beatles, it ends with Nirvana. I'm just basically going, at the very end, 1995. Had to release an album by 95 or anything rock and roll previous to that. You can think K-Rock, you can go a lot of different directions, but it's got to fall under the classic rock umbrella, and Gavin will be making his pick here in just a few moments. But let me go around the room and introduce who all these fine gentlemen are that are going to be making picks in our 4 rounds. Everybody gets 4 picks, snake-style draft, and Gavin has the first overall pick. Cole Dutchendorf is here. Tim Everson back in studio. Of course, you know him from the Mercury and PowerCat Game Day. And to his left, my 3 o'clock, back in studio for the first time in a minute. He was an original host on, I believe, on PowerCat Game Day. From Go PowerCat, Tim Fitzgerald.
So close.
Bald guys wearing hats.
It's we shouldn't have sat right next to each other.
I'm so glad the restraining order expired. I can be here.
When's the last time you think you were in this studio?
So long ago, I don't remember. I was really fat. I'm safe in saying that. I don't know. I'm kind of wiped out by this. So you're cutting the music off 30 years ago, 31 years ago.
Yeah, 31 years. Yeah,
and basically, rock started in the mid-'60s, so it's like we got 30 years of music and then 30 years off. Think about that. I am the age of rock and roll.
So this should be your wheelhouse.
Oh, it is my wheelhouse.
Like, I typically come in with a big board. I'm trusting I wasn't alive for most of this, but I'm trying to trust my my knowledge and my memory of what I've gathered from over the years on trying to win this thing, which, by the way, I want to make this clear. This isn't a draft to just draft your favorite bands. You want to win, right? The point of a draft is you want to win something. So you want to win an online vote. We're going to post this on social media at the end of this draft to see who drafted the best classic rock team. Simple enough.
I like it, yeah. I guess I'll change my top pick then.
Oh, he's not a big Beach Boys guy, apparently.
There's not going to be any Beach Boys slander happening.
All right.
Today.
Let's
No, sir.
officially get this draft underway. There have been rumors flying around all day. ESPN earlier today said Fleetwood Mac. Sports Illustrated said Christopher Cross.
Oh, yeah. Sailing takes me.
My personal bet is Glorilla.
Glorilla.
Yes.
Gavin, you can officially announce your first pick of the Classic Rock Draft.
With the first pick of the Classic Rock Draft, Gavin's Gang
Gavin's Gang
selects the Beatles.
Wow.
The Beatles.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick.
That is I think a draft pick somebody would have taken at some point. Some consider the greatest rock band of all time. Most consider the greatest rock band of all time. A lot also consider the Beatles as overrated. Well, when you're the best, there's no such thing as underrated.
Yeah.
So, Gavin, why the Beatles?
I mean, they kind of just shaped the sound and the direction of modern music. I mean, they're still played to this day. I mean, like you said, one of the most popular bands. I mean, pretty much everybody has heard of the Beatles in some sort. Might not know exactly what their songs are, but have heard of them. I mean, I'm not a big classic rock guy, but I've heard of the Beatles, since I was young. So, and they have top songs. Let It Be, very famous song. So, yeah, that's what went into my first pick.
I think we all can gather Gavin Hyatt isn't a classic rock guy.
Not at all.
He's not a Beatles guy. This is something that is brand new to Gavin Hyatt.
That was a great pick.
So, Tim Fitzgerald, do we blame his parents?
Well, I haven't met his parents. They're younger than me, probably, so I don't like them. But, yeah, I think every child should be exposed to classic rock. And I don't know. I like the Beatles. It's one of my favorite groups. I've been to Beatles Love numerous times in Vegas.
I've been once, and it was phenomenal. There's also a Beatles cover that goes. They're the Liverpool Legends.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all handpicked by, I believe, the widow of George Harrison. And they've played McGraw's multiple times, and they're phenomenal. Yes, I am one that believes the Beatles are one of the greatest ever. They are not overrated to me at all.
Not overrated. I don't consider them rock, though. See, I've got a narrower view. This is like rock to a lot of people is the whole genre, the whole whatever's on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
I love them. I don't consider them rock. The greatest rock band in history. Are we ready for pick number 2?
Are you ready for pick number 2? So, Tim Fitzgerald, you're officially on the clock here with pick number 2.
This is, without a doubt, the greatest true rock band of all time, Led Zeppelin. Led
Zeppelin is personally my favorite band of all time. But here's a big question, though. What do you consider their best album? Would you go to...
Don't ask me questions.
Okay.
I'm the media. I ask. I literally, as a member of the media, I don't know anything. Nothing.
Well...
So I ask the questions.
That now puts me on the clock. And I'm going to go a little bit of a different direction because I want to make sure I grab this band. So with the third pick of the classic rock draft, I will go with who I do believe should be absolutely a first rounder. I'm going to go Metallica.
Wow. Okay.
Love it. That's a sneaky good pick. I like it.
I mean, they probably have, if you can definitely compare them to the Beatles. I think they have surpassed Led Zeppelin as maybe one of the best catalogs of music ever. And they're one of the few bands, that are still putting out music way past their prime, and it's still fantastic stuff.
Agree.
Still fantastic stuff.
I've not seen them in concert.
I've seen them once. Tim Everson.
Well, look, guys, when we were in the draft meetings leading up to this, there are a lot of opinions. However, this morning I woke up.
That's good.
Keith Richards, no matter what. I'll take the Rolling Stones.
The Rolling Stones, Tim Everson. Rolling Stones are off the board.
Oh, that's good.
I'm really glad that worked.
Hell, it would have backfired if they would have been taken.
Well, then I would have gotten probably a better band than that. But I love the Rolling Stones. More prolific than the Beatles, just by length of time that they were rolling up until very recently. Just so many classics, man. I mean, they're just studs, and I think more rock than the Beatles for sure. Definitely have more of that edge.
Mm-hmm. Cole Dutchendorf, you wrap up our first round.
And, in the grand scheme of things, I'm closer to being in Gavin's boat than anyone else in this room's boat in terms of my knowledge of classic rock. But I am pretty happy with how this board laid out for me here at pick number 5. So with the 5th pick in the game classic rock draft, I'm going to take Queen.
Queen.
And this is one that I actually had some familiarity with growing up. I think the hit the hit making that they had throughout the 80s and 90s and even earlier than that, I think, if I'm correct. I think there was a lot of great songs that they put out there, songs that are still on my playlist today. So I'm going to take Queen, and I'm pretty happy with that.
All right, so Cole, it's snake style, so you now pick again, and meanwhile, Gavin is still waiting a long time to make his second pick.
Oh, he goes to
snake
top.
style, so we now go in a reverse order. We now start the second round. Cole, you're adding on to Queen.
And now I'm going to go to a group that I don't know as much about, but I do know that they are one of the classic groups in the history. Fleetwood Mac will be my sixth overall pick.
Interesting.
Both of his picks aren't on my board.
Really? Queen is a really good one. I didn't know if we would see Fleetwood Mac or not, but I would consider Fleetwood Mac absolutely.
I've anecdotally heard a lot of people say that they're their favorite bands, and if they qualify as in that classic rock, I'm gonna even though I don't know a ton about them, then I'll take Fleetwood Mac.
All right, Tim Everson, you are back on the board with your second pick. Your first pick was obviously the Rolling Stones just a few moments ago.
Well, I'm delighted that things have kind of fallen this way, because now I get the choice between the who I wanted to take with my second pick, but also there was a first rounder that's still out there that I thought would be snapped up. Give me Black Sabbath.
Oh, you
Oh.
Careful.
I'll take Black Sabbath. Look.
Full Ozzy there.
That's the first.
Invented heavy metal. They are
Oh, boy.
the...
That's not good.
The weather did not like that pick.
Okay. We're going to have to put a pause on this. Looks like we do have a tornado warning that's going into effect. And we're going to hear from ES here in a second.
A tornado warning has been issued for the Manhattan broadcasting listening area. Here's the latest information we have.
As you just heard, the National Weather Service in Topeka has issued, as we are all continuing to gather our information, a tornado warning has been issued for southeastern Riley, east central Geary, southwestern Wabaunsee, and southwestern Potawatomi, northwestern Wabaunsee until 6 o'clock. It was at 5:16. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Ogden, and it is moving to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. This hazard, of course, is a tornado, and golf ball size hail is possible. Radar indicated rotation with this storm. So obviously the impact of this storm could be flying debris that will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur, and tree damage is likely as well. Locations impacted, obviously, this is very important as well. I'm going to take a look at the radar to see where this rotation is currently happening, and it appears it's right now just south of Ogden. But as this storm moves to the northeast, locations impacted include Ogden,
Manhattan, and St. George. This also includes Interstate 70 between mile markers 304 and 320. So again, this is a tornado warning for southeastern Riley, east central Gary, southwestern Potawatomi, and northwestern Wabaunsee. We appreciate you joining us. We are now in a Manhattan Broadcasting Supercast across our 5 stations, now joined by Stephen Schaefer.
Well, good evening, Mitch. Wish we were talking under some better circumstances here this evening, of course. But as again, a tornado warning now in effect for portion of our listening area. While Mitch was reading that, a new severe thunderstorm warning did just come in. This one for southeastern Dickinson, all of Geary, southern Riley, Morris, western Wabaunsee, and southwestern Potawatomi counties till 6 o'clock tonight. Pretty much encompassing a decent chunk of our listening area as well. So we're going to keep an eye on that severe thunderstorm warning. But the main thing at hand here, again, is that tornado warning that is currently in effect.
Yeah, this line of severe thunderstorm warnings is quite impressive. Obviously, it stretches all the way down in Marion County, all the way to Marion, a little bit to the west into Hillsborough as well, and it's now stretching north of Ogden and is over Keats as well. That's about the northern edge of this severe thunderstorm warning that also stretches out to Louisville, Wamego, there in Potawatomi County, down into Wabaunsee County as well, down to McFarland, Alma. You're on the edge of that severe thunderstorm warning as well, but in particular for this tornado warning, which again the rotation was radar indicated just outside of Ogden and is moving to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. If you're in the path of this storm, absolutely make sure to take cover. Manhattan, St. George are both in the path of this this tornado warning that is moving to again the northeast at 30 miles per hour. In the warning, the town of Wabaunsee was actually not mentioned, but they are in this warning, and now it appears that there is a second tornado warning.
I was just about to hop on and let you know that there is a new tornado warning now. This one for southeastern Geary, southeastern Riley, northwestern Wabaunsee counties. That one also good till 6 o'clock tonight. At around 5:22, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 9 miles north of Dwight, moving to the northeast at 35 miles an hour. Hazard with the storm being tornado and golf ball size hail. This is just radar indicated rotation, so no confirmed reports yet that it is on the ground, but still treat this as if a tornado is on the ground. Alma and McFarland in the path of that one, as well as I-70 between mile markers 313 and 332. So if you're in either of these pairs of tornado warnings, make sure you're taking cover at this time. It looks like we're going to be preempted again by the EAS here in about 10 seconds or so. Looks like a reported funnel cloud near Ogden at this time. So we're going to step aside for the emergency alert system. Stephen Schaefer, Mitch Fortner with you here in our Manhattan Broadcasting Supercast. As you just heard, that new tornado warning, which I relayed moments ago before the EAS took over for those portions, again, of southeastern Geary, southeastern Riley, northwestern Wabaunsee counties, impacting Alma and McFarland, as well as I-70 between mile markers 313 and 332. We just got word, Mitch, that sirens are now sounding. Sirens are now sounding outside here in Manhattan. I'm assuming other counties are following suit. And we did get a storm chaser report of a funnel cloud at around 519 near the Ogden area.
Yeah, that's right. I want to pass along as well. Right now, the weather we're experiencing is not a surprise. We had a heads up here the last, about 36 hours or so with an increasing chance. The sun came out, it warmed up, it got humid. So what is currently taking place, it is brewed as expected, I think, for some. But right now, we currently have 2 tornado warnings that are currently in effect. So let me get you that info here once again. Tornado warning until 6 o'clock for southeastern Riley, east central Geary, southwestern Potawatomi, and northwestern Wabaunsee. This storm is moving to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. Radar indicated rotation at 516, which is the funnel cloud that Stephen just talked about. This storm does have the history as well, producing golf ball size hail. And locations impacted include Manhattan, Ogden, St. George. It also includes Interstate 70. This is something to keep in mind as well if you're traveling on Interstate 70. This is impacting right now mile markers between 304 and 320. So if you're heading towards that area, may want to hang back here for a while, let this storm hopefully pass. We'll be able to pass without anything happening. But the second tornado warning is in effect for southeastern Riley, southeastern Geary, and northwestern Wabaunsee until 6. That impacts Alma and McFarland. And like we mentioned with the other storm, moving to the northeast at 35 miles per hour. That one's to the south of the previous warning.
Absolutely. We did receive an update regarding our severe thunderstorm warning that also remains in effect until 5:45 tonight for all of Geary, southeastern Riley, northwestern Wabaunsee counties. At around 5:27, a severe thunderstorm located 9 miles northwest of Volin, moving to the east at 35 miles an hour. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, half-dollar size hail with that. Junction City, Ogden, Grandview Plaza, and Volland in the path of that, as well as I-70 between mile markers 294 and 321. Again, if you're just joining us, we're on our Manhattan Broadcasting Supercast across News Radio KMAN 101.5 KROC, B104.7, Z96.3, and Sunny 102.5. Stephen Schaefer, Mitch Fortner with you this evening as we've got a pair of tornado warnings currently going on in the area.
And there's also a strong chance, which again, we're watching from radar, but there is a good chance with the history of this storm that, this funnel cloud that was seen by a trained weather spotter that, this rain could very much be in effect as well with this funnel cloud. It could be hard to see what's going on. Trying to get some live video images. It appears that it is raining and it's a decent amount, so it could be hard to see what is exactly forming. So that is a big hazard as well about this storm that could still be developing as we speak and continuing to move into Riley County.
And looking at radar here, Mitch, the form of rotation that we're currently seeing on radar, it's about halfway between Ogden and Manhattan right now, from what I can see on radar here, where that signature of rotation is currently hanging out at. So we're talking roughly the northeast of Ogden to the southwest of Manhattan as this storm continues to roll into the Manhattan proper area.
So again, we have 2 tornado warnings in effect, both of them until 6 o'clock. And just to kind of give you a general sense of where these are out, right now it has started back towards Ogden, just west or just, I should say, northeast of Junction City, and then further south if you get in between Alta Vista, Volland, and also Interstate 70. South of Interstate 70 is where the second tornado warning has popped up. Both of them heading into the same direction right now towards the northeast at 35 miles per hour. Do you want to give a heads up if there is a continuation on the northern tornado warning that will impact Wamego, Louisville, Belleville would be in the path of this as well. Westmoreland would be in there as well, so or potentially in there. Might just be on the edge, but if the storm continues on the same path of already a shown funnel cloud, that is also areas that need to be have a heads up of what's taking place.
And again, looking at radar, the initial tornado warning we saw for the Ogden, Manhattan area here, I'm seeing rotation kind of start to falter a little bit as we're seeing they've dropped Geary County from one of our tornado warnings up here. So that would be the one that we're talking about right now that's located 6 miles east of Ogden, still moving east at 30 miles an hour. They canceled Geary County out of that one, but it looks like rotation's weakening there. As far as our other tornado warning, the one that's to the south of that for southeastern Geary, southeastern Riley, northwestern Wabunsee counties, also till 6 o'clock. It looks like there is still some hint of rotation there, and that's going to be, as I pull up my radar a little bit better here, that's going to be directly west of Volland, still by just a little bit here. Volland, of course, not in this warning, but we're talking about west of Volland, kind of in the middle between Junction City and Volland if you're looking at it on a map.
Well, one other thing I want to point out here, and I'm surprised Wabunsee, the town of Wabunsee, isn't listed in these warnings as, potential impact area, as these two tornado warnings actually overlap a little bit.
Yes, they do.
And where that overlap area is actually over Wabunsee. That's where most of the overlap is, the town of Wabunsee, which is south of Wamego. And the rest of the overlap, which it gets thinner as it goes west, is, I believe, mostly rural area. So, but the town of Wabunsee is being overlapped a little bit by the two edges of these tornado warnings.
So if you're in the Wabunsee area, even though you weren't explicitly mentioned in these warnings, still take shelter now and be prepared. So again, multiple tornado warnings, 2 tornado warnings in effect across our listening area here this evening.
Just got this update from Lori Harrison, Riley County Emergency Management. Sirens being activated again in Manhattan. Again, that is per Lori Harrison, Riley County Emergency Management. So I'm sure across town here in the Little Apple, you're hearing those sirens.
Absolutely. And again, if you're just tuning in, we're on our Manhattan Broadcasting Supercast for a pair of tornado warnings in effect until 6 o'clock tonight, with portions of Manhattan, St. George, Wabunsee, Alma, McFarland in these warnings.
Do you have a tornado watch in effect until 9 o'clock tonight? That is for the entire listening area. That includes Riley, Geary, Potawatomi, Dickinson, Wabunsee, and even stretching out. This is a pretty sizable tornado watch for our listening area that even impacts the surrounding area. And it does look like we have another tornado warning update, which I believe it's just a continuation, but it looks like Wabunsee has been lifted from one of these warnings.
Yes, it looks like, as I'm also trying to pull this up here, it looks like northern or northwestern Wabunsee has been canceled out of that. Interesting looking polygons on the radar now because it's all jagged as they're trying to clean up some of these warning polygons on our radar here, but a tornado warning still does remain in effect until 6 o'clock for southeastern Riley, south central Potawatomi counties. That thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 6 miles south of Manhattan, moving to the northeast at 30 miles an hour. That being radar indicated rotation, tornado, $half size hail. Locations currently impacted include St. George. And then, of course, we still do have the other tornado warning in effect as well until 6 for southeastern Riley, south central Potawatomi counties. That one still moving northeast at 30 miles an hour as well.
And I don't want to forget about those to the south of these warnings. Still need to consider these severe thunderstorm warnings that are still in effect for, even though Volland is not technically in this tornado warning, they're still in a severe thunderstorm warning. Alta Vista, going further to the southwest, Dwight, White City, Parkerville, and so on. You're still in a severe thunderstorm warning for another 25 minutes. Most of these are still continuing on until 6 o'clock. And again, this is a line of storms that has now reached into Potawatomi County, like central Potawatomi County. Westmoreland, it's hard to tell right now how much you're going to be impacted, but you should expect some weather here. Not the severe variety yet, but some weather here very soon. This stretches all the way down to Marion County.
And then we did just receive an update regarding our tornado warning that also remains in effect till 6 o'clock for east central Geary, southeastern Riley, northwestern Wabunsee counties. At around 5:33, that severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles northwest of Volland, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. Tornado is the primary hazard, golf ball size hail with it. Still just radar indicated rotation. We haven't gotten any more reports of funnel clouds yet from storm spotters, so we're going to continue to monitor all of our chat rooms for those reports. Alma, McFarland still on the path. I-70 between mile markers 314 and 332. So if you're in the path of these storms, please take shelter now.
Now I want to double check with you, Stephen, about where you currently see if you're still seeing on the radar any sort of rotation, because I think that's a good thing to update on if you still see it or not.
I'm waiting for some fresher radar pictures at this point in time, but the last check that I saw of any rotation would have been the one that is just to the northwest of Volland.
Okay. So that was for the further south warning.
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah, the reported funnel cloud, the one that was around Ogden, it looks like now directly east of Ogden. And now it's also important to note here that Manhattan is no longer, it appears to be in a tornado warning. So what was impacting Manhattan, the part of the tornado warning, it looks like, I mean, we could very well have a little bit of a shift in the storm, which we've already seen that from northeast to east and then back to northeast that, according to the, what's the word, the polygram, whatever it is, Manhattan has now been taken out of it, but St. George is still in the path of this this tornado warning.
And we just got a message here. Some people are a little confused about where Volland is. It's kind of southwest of Alma, not currently in the warning right now. So if you're looking at a map, it's going to be southwest of Alma by quite a little ways there. But Volland currently not in a tornado warning. Alma, McFarland still in it. St. George would be another town that is in this warning as well.
Yeah, Volland right in the center of Alma and Alta Vista. It's a diagonal path right in the middle of those two towns.
And it looks like a tornado warning was just canceled here. I'm waiting for the update to roll in as it were. But it looks like the one that initially encompassed Manhattan was canceled as it's fallen off the radar. So we're only looking at that southern tornado warning at this current point in time.
Which that tornado warning, which last update we got, we're still in effect with that for another 21 minutes. So set to, continuation, whatever it could be, an expiration at 6 o'clock, continues to move to the northeast at 35 miles per hour. That does have Alma, McFarland, just barely clipping the edge here of the town of Wabaunsee, which is just south of Wamego. Right now the projected path is to say south of Wamego for the time being. But in the path, the only other town I see right now would be Paxico.
That would be correct. And, yep, so it looks like that tornado warning for Potawatomi and Riley was indeed canceled. Took my computer just a moment to pull that information up here. We still do have severe thunderstorm warnings across the area. There was a brand new one for portions of Marshall and Nemaha County that was just issued out. Again, that's just a severe thunderstorm warning. But for right now, it looks like we're only looking at the tornado warning that is in effect for portions of, looks like Central Geary, Southeastern Riley, and Northwestern Wabaunsee counties, and that would be Alma and McFarland.
Yeah, and again, that's in effect until 6. So that's for another 20 minutes. This is a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. Was originally seen 7 miles northwest of Volland, and that does continue to move to the northeast. And now I see the number has been just a slight change, now down to 30 miles per hour on the speed of this storm.
Still monitoring. No other signs of tightening rotation, which is kind of some good news. The rotation still looks about the same as it was looking for me here on radar. Still trying to get some fresher radar images in on our software this evening, but it looks like that rotation hasn't really been tightening up a whole lot here. It's just been kind of hanging out loosely, so just enough rotation to trigger a tornado warning, but I wouldn't necessarily say that it's enough to confirm that one is on the ground, but still treat this as if one is on the ground. As again, the storm just to the north showed a funnel cloud. This one could easily do the same thing as well.
Now, something else to point out here is it's been about 20 minutes since we've had any report of a funnel cloud, and that has to do with both of the warnings that we've had. We've had just one report of a funnel cloud. That was for the northernmost warning that was impacting Manhattan, Ogden, and St. George, and that funnel cloud was around St. George. Let's see. Marshall County, just got this report out of Marshall County, which, to the north of us, they have expected golf ball size hail, which, we thought that had been a possibility with our storm. Have not really received any word yet, I haven't at least, on any hail yet, or any sort of size of hail has been reported by the National Weather Service.
I don't have any sizes of hail, but one of my contacts, somebody that I know very well, said that it was spitting hail on the west side initially when the storm did roll into the area. The hail ended and then it rained like crazy. Now starting to see some breaks in the clouds in the northwest area of Manhattan.
All right, it looks like the official cancellation for the tornado warning that impacted Riley, Wabaunsee, Gary has been canceled, as it looks like it just came through right now.
Okay, so let's get that pulled up here. Also trying to get it pulled up.
And that was the second warning, so
yes.
now both warnings are off the table.
Yep, so this tornado warning for east central Geary, southeastern Riley, northwestern Wabaunsee counties is canceled. The tornadic thunderstorm which prompted the warning has weakened, which backs up what I was seeing on radar. It was still broad rotation, nothing tightening up. So that is now off the table. Just as a reminder, a tornado watch remains in effect till 9 o'clock tonight for northeastern and east central Kansas. So basically our listening area, as it were. Just while we still have you here, there is still a severe thunderstorm warning that remains in effect till 5:45, so a couple of minutes from now for Geary, southeastern Riley, northwestern Wabaunsee counties. For now, we will go ahead and end Supercast coverage and send you back to normal programming.
The tornado warning has been lifted for the Manhattan broadcasting listening area. We will now cease Supercast coverage and return to normal programming. As always, you may tune in to News Radio KMAN, K-Rock, B1047, C96.3, and Sunny 102.5 for the latest severe weather information. This has been severe weather coverage on the Manhattan Broadcasting Severe Weather Supercast. We now return to regular programming already in progress. Miss any of the show? Check out The Game podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and of course, NewsRadioKMAN.com. You're listening to The Game on News Radio KMAN.
K-State fans, football season tickets are on sale now as Collin Klein returns as head coach of your Wildcats.
Some people like to visit physicality. We live there. We're going to be the new old school.
Be in Bill Snyder Family Stadium for all 7 home games this fall.
Every single one of us in here has something to give to help take this program where we need it to go.
Order your season tickets by the April 24th deadline. Visit kstatesports.com or call 1-800-221-CATS.
When the road throws you a curve or a rock, Interstate Glass keeps you rolling. From tiny chips to full windshield replacements, even advanced auto glass calibration. We handle it all. Fast, accurate, and done right the first time. Can't get to us? No problem. Our mobile service comes to you. And the best part? We are accepted by leading insurance, making the whole process smooth and stress-free. Interstate Glass, clear vision. Local service done right. Call today, 785-776-8857.
Manhattan Broadcasting is keeping it local. Dollars spent locally today help build a better community for tomorrow.
D&I Plumbing, Heating, and Air will provide honest and quality service when you need it most. From a leaky faucet to replacing your water heater. Trust the experts at D&I Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Your York and other makes and models local dealer. Call 537-7138 today.
Turn your memories into a masterpiece at Candlewood Frame Shop. Whether it's framing your favorite pictures floating around in the digital cloud or creating a shadow box with cherished things or memorable events. Candlewood Frame Shop. Let them turn your stories into a masterpiece.
For a once-in-a-lifetime experience, engagement ring shopping simply can't be duplicated on a computer screen. At Fifely Jewelers, you'll be pleasantly surprised by our pricing compared to buying online, and we offer financing. Plus, you'll have peace of mind by shopping locally with Fifely Jewelers.
Manhattan Broadcasting is keeping it local. Find more great local businesses plus special deals and offers when you keep it local on our website.
This is Vern Henricks, and I'd like to invite you to join Dave Lewis and me every Monday morning at our new time, 9 a.m. here on News Radio KMAN. With the GMCF Community Hour, we enjoy celebrating the time, talents, and treasures of our community leaders and nonprofits each week. We will share GMCF updates, learn from community nonprofits, and provide you with upcoming community charitable events. For more information, call us at 587-8995 or visit our website at mcfks.org.
GMCF, helping you make a difference.
You love your land, and you have plans for it. During Kubota Orange Days, you'll love the great deals on Kubota's versatile, reliable lineup, helping you turn dream projects into reality. Visit your Kubota dealer for the best deals of the year. Now through June 30th, 0% financing available, or save up to $2,500 off select compact tractors. Sale ends soon. Stop by CanEquip in Wamego or go to CanEquipKubota.com.
At ESB Financial, we think it makes sense to pay you. That's right, get paid 5.04% annual percentage yield on balances up to $20,000 with our free Kasasa Cash checking account. We'll even refund your ATM fees nationwide, and the best part is there's no monthly service charges or minimum balances to keep. All you have to do to earn your rewards are a few simple things each month. The best part? These things make banking easier. Visit ESBFinancial.com to learn more. Special terms may apply. ESB Financial, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Spring has sprung at Blueville Nursery. The greenhouse is full of bright spring flowers and cool season veggies. Outside, trees, shrubs, and perennials are starting to make their appearance. Now is also the time to start amending your soil. We recommend Cottonburg compost. The store is full of seeds, potatoes, asparagus, and onions. Don't forget your crabgrass preventer and pre-emergence to prevent headaches later on this season. Blueville Garden Store is open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 5. Come give us a visit at Blueville Nursery, where you'll always find a friendly smile and expert advice. Located at the corner of Scenic Drive in Anderson and Manhattan.
Before we were so rudely interrupted by Mother Nature, let's finish this draft. Classic Rock Draft, first day of the NFL Draft. Let's do this. Let's get caught up here on what we've drafted so far. Gavin took the Beatles. Tim Fitzgerald, Led Zeppelin. I took Metallica. Tim E. with the Rolling Stones. Cole goes back-to-back with Queen and Fleetwood Mac. Tim Everson takes Black Sabbath. Folks, I'm officially on the clock, but just want to double-check here as Gavin gets everything settled. Tim Fitzgerald, you back with us?
Yes, I am.
All right, he's back home. He's going to join us for the rest of the draft, and here we go. For the 8th pick of the Classic Rock Draft, I will select a band that I think is absolutely a first-rounder. I'm going to take Pink Floyd with my second-round pick.
Really good choice.
All right, that means Tim Fitzgerald from Go Power Cat is officially back on the clock.
Sometimes in the draft, you can't decide in the first round, so you pick someone, and then the other guy is still available in the second round. So with the 9th pick, I'm taking my absolute favorite band of all time, Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Lynyrd Skynyrd, Tim, is the band that got me into rock and roll.
Oh, they're so good.
The reason is because I thought that smell was about farts.
That's valid. I agree. Really good band. Just don't get on a plane with them.
All right. Gavin, you go back-to-back here, so finish off our second round. You let off the draft with the Beatles.
Really excited to hear Gavin's analysis of these next two picks.
Which you don't have to give one.
No, yeah.
But it's nothing like you had to do in the first pick. But go ahead.
With my second pick, I will be taking AC/DC.
That's a good one.
That's a good pick.
Good pick.
Very good pick.
I had some sources telling me that was the expected draft pick. During the tornado warning is what I heard from some sources who contacted me.
Beatles and AC/DC. Gavin, you're going back-to-back, but now you kick off our third round of the Classic Rock Draft.
I know he's pretty popular, but with the third pick, I will be choosing Bruce Springsteen.
That's good. That's a good pick. He was on my long
Don't know
list.
much about him, but I've heard of him.
Don't tell Ned.
Yeah.
But I'm not a Springsteen guy.
Oh, no.
Is Ned a Springsteen guy?
Yes, he is.
Huge.
Huh.
Seen him multiple times.
So Gavin's
Just when you like the guy. Huh.
Gavin's draft so far: the Beatles, AC/DC, and Bruce Springsteen.
You know, I did hear rumors about Springsteen being a deferred or preferred undrafted free agent, so I'm surprised to see him get picked up today.
All right, Tim Fitzgerald, you have drafted Led Zeppelin and Leonard Skinner. How about your third pick of the draft?
It's the fourth pick on my board, so I'm doing pretty well. I'm picking The Who.
The Who.
Okay. Not bad.
Who are you?
All right, so that means I'm back on the board. All right, I'm glad this pick is still here because he is one of my favorites of all time. And unfortunately, he passed away last summer. It is the one celebrity death that has lingered with me. And I cannot listen to a whole lot of his songs without getting a tear in my eye. I think you know where I'm going. With the 13th pick of the classic rock draft, I am going the Prince of Darkness, the Ozman, Ozzy Osbourne. Solo Ozzy Osbourne.
Mitch, no more tears. No more tears.
Man, when you hear that guitar start, it's like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Timmy Everson. All right, you have so far Rolling Stones, Black Sabbath, your third pick, or your third round draft pick.
Well, we're delighted at Tim Everson Industries for that these guys are still on the board because they were my pick for the second round if Sabbath wasn't available. Give me Eddie and the boys. Give me Van Halen.
All pick.
That is a very good pick. Now, is Sammy Hagar involved in this pick?
I want them all. I want them all.
All right, that's a value pick in the third round. Cole, you are wrapping up your draft right now. You go back to back in our snake style. You have Queen, you have Fleetwood Mac, pick number 15.
You know, I've heard in investments you need to diversify your portfolio, and I'm going to do that here with my third pick in this draft. And I'm going to take the boys from out northwest. Give me Nirvana.
Okay.
I mean, shoot, Smells Like Teen Spirit is widely considered one of the greatest songs of all time, right? That alone, that's a good pick.
It is it's probably the representative of the 90s, I would say. Certainly the grunge era. All right, Cole, Nirvana, Fleetwood Mac, Queen. Who's your final pick?
In a draft where we're talking about classic rock, I'm going to go to one that's maybe a little bit more. When I think rock, I'm thinking this group. I'm going to go Guns N' Roses.
GNR.
That's a good pick.
Also,
really
fantastic name.
That was on my big board.
Sorry, Gavin. Had to get that one in there.
Darn.
Tim Everson, you wrap up your draft. Rolling Stones, Black Sabbath, and Van Halen with Van Hagar.
With Van Hagar, exactly. This is tough because I do want to diversify like Cole. I definitely, if Kurt Cobain and friends were still available, I was going to go that route. We are going to keep it in the Pacific Northwest. I will take Alice in Chains.
Whoa.
You had to take my second favorite band ever.
I'm very sorry. It was between them and Pearl Jam, and it was tough.
But I'm okay with that because I was actually not going to select Alice in Chains because based on a vote, I feel like this band is going to get maybe a little bit further. All right, so to wrap up my draft, I have Metallica, Pink Floyd, Ozzy Osbourne, with my final pick in the 18th pick of the classic rock draft. The Manhattan Mitchapalooza will select Motley Crue.
Yeah. Heavily considered taking them with my 16th overall pick, but
uh-oh.
Well,
Stephen Schaefer, Mitch Fortner with you. Only K-Man going wall-to-wall now for this new tornado warning that has been issued as I get my materials pulled up in front of me here. So again, a new tornado warning. Waiting for this to pop up. Here we go. For southeastern Riley, northwestern Wabunsee counties till 6:45 tonight. At around 5:53, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 4 miles north of Volland, moving east at 20 miles an hour. Tornado and ping pong ball size hail with it. Alma, McFarland, and Paxico.
So this is basically the same storm that weekend a few moments ago, and now it's the same area that is right now picked back up with the rotation. It looks like as the rotation is showing up on the radar, it's pretty much directly to the west of Alma. But in the path is also McFarland and Paxico, like mentioned. So this is a brand new tornado warning in effect for another 47 minutes. And it's a slower storm now. It has pumped the brakes here a little bit. Was previously moving at 35 to 40 miles per hour, but it's now down to 20 miles per hour, like stated earlier. So when we were talking earlier doing our Supercast, when we had 2 tornado warnings, this feels like basically a continuation of the southern warning. That was actually second to be canceled, but now there's enough radar indicated rotation to once again put out a warning, a tornado warning that is right now that can impact multiple towns in Wabunsee County.
And there is a slight hint of some tighter rotation with that storm that I'm looking at right now, just off radar. It's not a ton of rotation, but it does look like it is tightening up just a little bit. I'm seeing just some signature of some rotation on that warned storm here. So we're going to continue to monitor that. Also, while we've got you here, a new severe thunderstorm warning just issued, and it's got a lot of counties, so please bear with me. Southeastern Geary, southeastern Riley, northeastern Morris, western Shawnee, Wabunsee as a whole, northwestern Osage, southern Potawatomi, southwestern Jackson, and northern Lyon counties. So basically our area and then some on this new warning.
If you're keeping track at home, that's 9 counties involved in that severe thunderstorm warning.
Yes, and that's going to be areas of Topeka, northeastern Manhattan, all of Wamego, Council Grove, Rossville, Alma, Eskridge, St. Mary's, Dover, Silver Lake, Auburn, St. George, Maple Hill, Alta Vista, Dwight, McFarland, Harveyville, Paxico, Bellevue, and Emmett, as well as I-70 between mile markers 312 and 355, and the Kansas Turnpike between mile markers 148 and 169.
Keep in mind as well, not only is that impacting our listening area, we still have a tornado watch in effect for our area until 9 o'clock tonight. So that's for most of northeastern and east central Kansas. But folks, as well, you need to keep in mind to take caution into effect here, as you know, this is a tornado warning. So there's a lot that can happen, of course, with a tornado warning. And for your protection, you want to move into an interior room on the lowest floor of a building if you are in the path of this storm, which again is a tornado warning in effect for southeastern Riley and northwestern Wabunsee. That is in effect until 6:45. We just reached 6 o'clock, so that's for another 45 minutes. At 5:53, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located 4 miles north of Volland and is moving to the east at 20 miles per hour. Alma, McFarland, and Paxico are the locations impacted, but of course a lot of rural surrounding area impacted as well. Pretty much those towns are in the middle of the path of this rotation, but also keep in mind if you're heading east or west on I-70, this also impacts I-70 between mile markers 317 and 336, so nearly 20 miles of I-70 being impacted by this tornado warning.
Just to jump in here just for a minute here, Mitch, looks like rotation now severely tightening up on that storm cell for that tornado-warned storm cell here. We're starting to see kind of that signature notch inflow starting to happen with this storm cell on radar. I'm sure your radar picture just updated. I see you nodding over there. But definitely big signs of rotation here. So please be cautious. Again, if you're out in the Alma, the McFarland, the Paxico area, this could very well put a tornado on the ground at any point right now.
And if radar is obviously, if it's pinpoint accurate here, this rotation is directly to the west of Alma by a couple, let's see here. This is, I would say, roughly 8 miles or so west of Alma. This storm continues.